Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm going to apologize because I feel like I'm still trying to get the hang of this, and I'm already 30 weeks into my pregnancy, and I'm still kind of struggling on how I'm putting these videos together. So I'm sorry about that if it's confusing. So I am 30 weeks now, and I'm going to be going over the 30-week bump date update and how week 29 was, not week 30, because obviously I just hit week 30 today, which is so crazy. I can't believe that. Oh my gosh. It is like countdown time after this week. It is like single digit numbers. I am nervous. I am scared. I am excited. I am all the things. We're going to hop right in and look at the apps to see what week 30 will have in store for us. So this is week 30, and it says your baby is as big as Winnie the Pooh's red balloon. Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. And it says she is about 16 inches long and weighs about 3 pounds already. Wowzers. And it says 10 weeks to go. Oh my gosh. You're going to have to excuse me because I get out of breath easily now. So it says, if you're 30 weeks pregnant, you're in month 7 of your pregnancy. Only 2 months left to go. So crazy. How big is my baby at 30 weeks? So it says your belly's increasing size is definitely a clue that your baby is getting bigger every day. Now she's weighing in at about 3 pounds. She'll be packing on weight at a rate of roughly half a pound per week for the next 7 weeks. The baby's brain is getting bigger, also growing at a quick pace these days. Now that the baby's brain and new fat cells are regulating body temperature, the lanugo, which is soft, downy hair covering your little bean's body, is beginning to disappear. There's no need for that furry coat anymore, but you may see a few leftover strands of fur on your newborn's back and shoulders when she's born. If she's anything like me, I was born with quite a bit of hair, so who knows? It was later on in life when I started losing hair, but now, I think I got a lot of it back in pregnancy, thank goodness. But I am kind of scared for that postpartum hair loss to happen. But I'm preparing. I'm getting my vitamins. I'm getting all that stuff ready to go. So pregnancy symptoms, according to the What to Expect app, are changes in fetal movement, bloating and gas, swollen feet and ankles, constipation, stretch marks, and fatigue. So from that, what I can say that I do have is, I would say, changes in fetal movement only because they're not kicks anymore. They're more like rolls, and like you can feel like if she goes like this, like you can feel her shoulders or her head move. Like I can feel like big body parts just rolling around inside, which is very, very strange, as opposed to like the little kicks. Swollen feet and ankles. So I haven't really got that. I do see a little bit of swelling, like when I walk too much or if it's like really hot outside, but so far I've kind of minimized the swelling because I do try to keep up with my walking, and like I do rest with like my feet up most of the time. Constipation, luckily for me, that hasn't been an issue. I think it's due to the fact that I eat a lot of fruit, so I get all that fiber in, and I drink water, a lot of water too. Well, I try to drink a lot of water. So I think for the most part, like we're good on that. I'm hoping to continue to still be good on that because they say like postpartum, that first postpartum poo is supposed to be like horrendous. So I'm so scared for that. I'm hoping that, we're still maintaining the flow here, if you could say that. As far as stretch marks, I've had stretch marks before on my side over here, but that is from my weight gain and loss throughout the years because I fluctuate in weight a lot all the time. The stretch marks that I have on my side, they're like white and like clearish almost, so you can't really, I mean, you can see them, but it's not that bad. But those are older ones. I did develop two smaller red ones, like right below my belly. I'm hoping that it doesn't become more, because I've literally, like, ever since I was 4 weeks along in pregnancy, I have been lathering religiously with oils and lotions and butter, like belly butters and all of that, just to try and not get stretch marks. But I know it's genetics. I know that some people just can't avoid it. But I'm trying to do everything I can to avoid it, if it's possible. So this is my first pregnancy. I don't know. So I'm just trying to, keep up with the routines, all of that. And the last one that they talked about was fatigue. So I have been pretty good on energy lately, except for like the last couple of days. I think I spoke about this the last video, but I was kind of struggling a little bit. I think I spoke about last video in sleeping. Well, last night was the worst. Last night was the worst. I got up probably like 6 different times. It was between like nightmares and just weird dreams and having to go to the bathroom. It was just the leg cramps, because I stopped using the magnesium citrate because I was lazy, and I was like, or not citrate, sorry, the magnesium spray. I was lazy and I didn't apply it religiously like I had been. Well, it's been a couple of days since I put it on, and when I don't put it on, I definitely get leg cramps. So I don't know what I'm thinking when I decide not to put it on, because I know that I'm not going to be sleeping well. So I'm gonna hop back on the train and religiously apply that every single night, because it helps you sleep, it helps with muscle cramping, spasms or whatever, and just it works. Okay, take my word for it. Like, magnesium spray works. You will feel the difference like right when you apply it, especially after a day where your feet feel achy. Oh, I love that feeling actually. When your feet feel achy and you start spraying the magnesium spray, you can literally feel like the tension just like, it's wonderful. Definitely 10 out of 10 recommend. So as far as highlights for week 29, I did order a lot of the stuff for the baby shower already, so I am getting very excited. I started painting a lot of the vases for the baby shower, and they're looking pretty spot on to the like jarro style. What are they called? Cantaritos, I think. Cantaritos? Cantaros? I don't know. But they're like the barro, like, vases. Well, they look like it. So one thing I have noticed is temperature. I have been feeling hot constantly, which I'm normally a person that is always cold. Soy bien friolenta. Like, I am always in a jacket when I'm in the house because Brett loves it, like cold, cool climate, and I just like to be in a warmer climate. But lately, I have to make sure that I have my fan in my purse, 2 fans, an electric one and a hand one. At night, I don't sleep with any blankets on anymore. I sometimes wake up sweating like profusely. Oh, it's just not cute, not cute. But yeah, so temperature changes. I have definitely been feeling hot, and it is kind of scary because we're still in spring in Texas, and summer's coming around, and we're already supposed to hit like 103 or something like that, like this coming week. So I'm a little scared for that. Catch me inside. How about that? Another challenge that I do have is that I am constantly hungry. I try to drink a lot of water to try and like fill up my stomach, but I know that obviously like I'm feeding too. That this is the struggle, because I like to say like, oh, I'm feeding 2 so I can eat more, but at the same time I know that that's not true, because you can only eat like a certain amount of calories more than you normally do. So I'm like struggling between giving the baby what she wants, giving me what I want, and like trying not to gain too much weight too fast, because I've heard a lot of people talk about how like they gained so much weight at the end of their pregnancy. And again, I'm not too worried about that unless it like hurts her in some way, then I would be worried about that. Or like I develop gestational diabetes or something like that. But for the most part, I'm trying to keep it healthy, keep it going. But yeah, definitely the hunger is one thing that has really kicked into overdrive. So speaking of hunger, my cravings have been pretty much consistent. Again, last week I mentioned it, but sweets, specifically strawberries and chocolate. Definitely kind of same as last week. Hasn't really changed that much. I'm trying to do like apples and stuff like that in the morning with my strawberry Greek yogurt, but yeah, definitely still pretty much the same. We'll talk about my birth plan. I'm still trying to put it together. I'm still trying to come up with it because I don't want to be like too strict, because I know that at the end of the day, this baby's going to want to come out how she's going to want to come out. There's only so much that I can control, and since I am giving birth in a hospital, there's going to be a lot of different like things that they're going to offer me during the whole labor process. So I think I mentioned this before, but I do want to labor at home mostly, and then go to the hospital towards the end, which is kind of scary because I'm like, when is the end exactly? Like, you just don't know. At least I won't know because this is my first baby. So yeah, we'll talk about that later, my birth plan, once I kind of write it down and like think it over and see like, am I being too like strict with it? Should I be more loose with it or what? But I think I'll kind of have like a birth plan for a C-section or a vaginal birth, because I just don't know which way it's gonna go. You know, a lot of people go in wanting to like deliver naturally, and then they end up getting an emergency C-section. So I just want to be mentally prepared for both, and just on paper also. My birth plan on paper also. The last thing I'm going to talk about before I show you guys the bump is going to be my last prenatal appointment, which I had this past week. And first of all, now I'm going to see the doctor twice a month instead of just once a month. So I guess that's exciting. I don't know if I guess that's normal. This past week I went, they did the whole usual like, let me weigh you, let me take your blood pressure, pee in this cup, how are you feeling? Do you have any questions? All right, I'm done type of thing. But one thing that did change this week was they offered me the T-Dap vaccine. So I'm usually not one to get very many vaccines. I think the last one I ever received, well, the last one I received was the COVID one. But before that was like meningitis or something like that, and I was like 18. It's been a while. I don't really do vaccines that often. But because this vaccine, at least what I was told from my doctor, was to benefit my baby more so than myself, I decided to do it. And I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I mean, I feel like anything to benefit my baby. I don't want to keep her, or I don't want to risk anything for her. So if the doctor recommends it and if it's been around for a while, then I just said, you know what, go ahead, give it to me, and she will be able to have that immunity in my belly. So once she comes out, she'll be immune. So I did receive that. As a matter of fact, when I got it, I don't know if you guys can see it. There it is. See? That was about 5 days ago, and it's still red and a little sore to the touch, and it still gets itchy here and there. I did talk to my doctors about it. They said that it was a normal reaction, but a lot of the people, I'm in like mom groups on Facebook and stuff like that, and a lot of the people say that nobody has received that type of reaction before. So I was a little bit worried at first after like day 2 when it was getting big and like really red and really itchy. I did call my doctor and I was like, hey, I think I'm having an allergic reaction. What's going on? Like, what's happening? And I did kind of walk her through it. I sent her a picture of it, and the doctor said that, you know, it was fine, just keep an eye on it, and if it gets worse, then to call. But it hasn't gotten worse. It just looks pretty bad because it's like purple now instead of red. But I mean, that's a sign that it's going away. So everything is good so far with that. But yeah, that was the Tdap vaccine. So if you don't know what it is the one that protects against, and I don't know how to say these correctly, so don't mind me, but it is the one that protects against diphtheria, tetanus, and pertussis. I figured if I take it and it's going to benefit my baby, then I will do it. Like I said, I'm usually not one to take medication. I mean, not medication, well, that too, but I'm usually not one to take vaccines, but anything for baby girl, you know? Now that all of that is discussed and talked about, I will show you guys my bump, my 30-week bump. Hold on. Okay, so maybe I didn't wear the right outfit for this because I'm wearing black and you can't really tell that much, I don't think. I'm wearing a black dress right now and there's only so much room that I can push back here because the room is small and I have the stroller back there and all of that. So this is what the bump is looking like from the front. And oh yeah, you guys can see it there. So this is what she's looking like from the side. And I am 30 weeks today. So she's definitely heavier. But yeah, so this is the 30 bump update, the 30-week bump date. We discussed about 29 weeks. And I will be back next week when I am 31 weeks, hopefully. I have been trying so hard to remember to do these bump dates on the weekend. Once I am 31 weeks, I will come back and record the bump, see if it got bigger, what's going on, and then kind of give you guys like my symptoms and like things that have changed for this week, week 30. It's getting closer. It's closer and closer each time. And I am very excited. We are very excited. It's going to be countdown time soon. That's if I'm full term. If I make it to 40 weeks. Like I said, I mentioned this in the last video, and my mother-in-law and my mother both delivered at week 38. So if that's the case, we're already in single digits now without even knowing it. But for now, we're thinking 10 weeks because we're going to make it to 40 weeks. So we're very excited. So I'll talk to you guys later. Love you guys.